Hey guys, welcome back to Earth and Medicine. Today I'm going to show you how to make show jump poles. So I've been teaching my young horse how to jump, and I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on professional show jump poles, so I decided to make my own. I went to our hardware store here and I bought a bunch of fence posts. These were around $8 each. I sanded them, I put a primer base coat on, and then I spray painted them with the colors that I liked. So I'm going to show you guys how I made these. This project did not take any power tools unless you want to use a power sander, but I actually sanded these by hand. So let's get started. So an important thing to remember when you're sanding, especially with pressure treated wood, is to wear an N95. This helps protect your lungs from inhaling all those little particles that you were stirring up when you were sanding. This is my N95. And we're ready to go. Alrighty guys, I've got all of the poles sanded. We have brushed all of the dust off and I've got them propped up here on our recycle bin. So we're gonna start painting them now. I just wanted to say one reason why I was sanding them is because you really want to get all of the grit off as well as all of the mildew, because anything under your paint and under your spray paint is eventually going to make the paint bubble up and just your paint isn't going to last very long. So you want to clean them off and you want to get the dust off and make sure that your poles are dry before you start painting. So now we're going to start painting. We have got some small paint brushes. I forgot to get some actual painter's paintbrushes when I was at the store, so it might take us a little bit longer, but that's okay. Paint that I got was actually an exterior primer. I didn't want to get a paint and primer mix because they're about $40 for a gallon and just the primer itself was about $22. I felt like this was probably a fine way to go, is just to get a primer because I'm going to be spray painting on top of it anyway. So I just want a nice white base coat. I could make multiple layers if I want it to be even more of a nice bright white, but I think a primer should work just fine. This is our primer. Looks like a big soup. Oh, yeah. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Much better. Beautiful. Hey guys, alright, I'm back again. It's the next day and I actually went to the store and I got us some better painting supplies. So I got some small rollers, one of these paint palettes, I guess, and it comes with an extra roller. I got these actually from Walmart this time. Got some good sized paint brushes, and so we don't have to use my little 1-inch art paintbrushes. And so I'm just gonna keep on painting today. We got a good coat on these first two poles and then it did rain overnight, but I think everything's pretty dry now and it shouldn't have messed up the paint. So I'm just gonna keep putting on this base layer. Hopefully it'll dry quickly enough today for me to start spray painting the nice pretty stripes that will go on the finished jump poles. Alrighty, just for fun, I'm gonna actually try out these rollers here. So I'm gonna pour some paint into our palette. Actually goes on really nicely. Kind of has a different texture compared to the brushes. It's a little bit more, it's like a matte appearance in a way. So my thoughts about the paintbrushes versus the rollers is actually, I feel like they're pretty equal. The paintbrushes give an initial thicker coat, and so I probably won't have to do a second coat if I use the paintbrushes, but they'll probably take a little bit longer to dry at first. The rollers make a lot more even and thin of a first layer, and so it's a little bit lighter in color, so I might have to do a second coat. But it's really nice and uniform. It's probably faster than the paint brushes, and they're probably a little bit more fun to use. So I like both of them. Whatever your choice is or whatever you've got on hand, if you've got paint brushes, they work fine. The rollers might be a little bit faster. And if you're not planning on doing a second coat anyway of white, then probably just one first coat with the roller will be fine. I think I probably will do a second coat both for protection of the poles, and then I also want some of the white to show through in different spaces in between my colored patches. So I'm gonna let the ones that I've already painted dry, and I'm gonna finish up the other sides with the rollers right here. And then after everything's dry, we'll go to the spray paint. Let's get spraying! I'm gonna put some red in the middle, and then we're gonna do yellow and then black.
No, that's just regular coffee. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna let these dry at least overnight, and then some of them are gonna need a little bit of touch-ups. When I first started spraying the yellow, it probably wasn't shaken up enough, but it was intermittently nice and deep yellow, alternating with kind of like a milky light yellow, and I didn't really like that. So I'm gonna have to go back in and do another coat of yellow, maybe touch up some of the red and the black, and then we'll put our smaller stripes on after that. So I ended up putting on another layer of all of the colors that I've got on these poles. I did put black stripes on each end of all of the colors. These were just 1-inch stripes that I measured out later. I liked having white and black in between all the colors because I feel like it kind of defined those colors a little bit better. After I let all the paint dry, I sprayed on a layer of lacquer just to help keep it a little bit more waterproof and also protected from when the horses inevitably kick the poles. I let it again dry overnight, and I put another layer of lacquer on. So this is the finished product. I really love these poles. The colors have really lasted a long time despite being used pretty often. So if you guys like this video, check out the other videos on my channel. I will be making a video showing how I made these jump standards, a jump wall, as well as these flower boxes. So I'll see you guys next time.